Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk to you about how unless the builder is godly and is building it on a firm foundation, whatever it is, a business, a relationship takes two, but in business, if you don't have the correct builder and the builder doesn't know the Lord, then you don't have the correct builder. Everything will be in vain. It will be futile completely. And the main reason is because it's not blessed. And what comes with blessing is passion. And without passion is to say you have no heart in the matter. You're doing it for alternative reasons. And so many times you'll find out there these big corporate companies, they may look good, but they don't really last long. Or they grow big, too quick, or they blow money in the wrong places. And it's because they never put it down a firm foundation. And yeah, it took off. It also collapsed into a big ball of dust in the end. And this is what you see. This is what you'll find. And even in the early stages of you building whatever your ministry is, really, truly. And that to me is kind of outside of what a business would be, or a lot of us typically would look at a business as a ministry. But we have to view it, those of us that are believers, we have to view it as our ministry, because that's what it is. A ministry is anything that you're doing as a co-creator with the Lord. It doesn't have to be just something churchy. It's anything that you do. Everybody has a ministry, and not everybody's going to have a ministry that's going to be churchy. Because if we all did, we wouldn't be able to eat, we wouldn't be able to drive, we wouldn't have cars to drive, we wouldn't have houses to live in, and things like that. A ministry is what you're called to do. It's your anointing. You could be a real estate agent, but when you are a co-creator with the Lord, or you can have a real estate firm, but as a co-creator with the Lord, you're not going to cheat people. You're not going to lead them astray, and you're not going to be out just to get a buck. What comes with that anointing, what leads you, is your passion. And that passion comes from your heart. And your heart is a portal for good or bad. If your heart's cold, then your company, your business, your corporation will run cold, and you'll run it right into the ground. And if it's unbalanced, then your corporation's going to be unbalanced. A lot of people think that love is weak, but it's not weak. It's the strongest in the whole galaxy. Love is the strongest power in the whole galaxy. It's been misunderstood. It's been manipulated. It's meant to believe a certain way, because a lot of people that operate in love, they operate in it unbalanced. And when you operate in love unbalanced, you give away too much. You fold when you shouldn't be folding. And that's not what love's about. You can be hard at what you do and good at what you do and run a good, sound. In fact, you have to have love to run a sound business, a sound corporation. But we're talking about balance, y'all. You can do a lot of things in life some people would say are bad for you, but a lot of times it's you being balanced in a lot of situations. And if you get unbalanced, then you shouldn't be doing it. Maybe you should steer yourself away from whatever that is. And then there's some things off limits to all of us. A love that's balanced, once you balance out your emotional state with your spirit man, your true self, your logic, and your emotional chakras are all in line, they will operate on the right timeline. And you will be in sync with what they call the universe, or the universal law. It's with your masculine and feminine. When you balance all of those things out and you have true love for yourself, you have to put yourself first in a way that is sincere and with humility, not pompous and arrogant and froward. You don't want to be a simple individual or somebody who thinks of things from a mind that is simple, because a simple-minded man makes dumb decisions. We're supposed to be prudent, which is made fun of in the world, because anything good for you is going to be made fun of, mocked at, laughed at, told it's crazy or it's not fair. But people want to muzzle your mouths these days with too much political correctness. Some of it is good and some of it is out of balance. So we have to be careful with how far political correctness goes. Because again, you want to be balanced. You want to respect others and treat others the way you want to be treated. And show these individuals out here in the life that you live by being an example of what you preach, what you teach. If you can't live it, then don't preach it. Don't talk about it. To be the truth, you have to live what you say and say what you mean. And you don't act, you just be. And, for a lot of people in my past, or what I found is a lot of people that have stole money from me and opened up businesses, and they were sucking off of my fuel, my energy. They recorded up to me. And sometimes part of it was a trauma bonding and having hopes and having what ifs, right? That's how the narcissist is. They leave you with a lot of what ifs. But what you got to keep in mind is the narcissist is always going to try to stay connected to you in some form or fashion. And that is to keep that cord plugged into you. They don't want to lose you on an energetic level. Because if they don't lose you, they don't have to be with you. They just have to be running through your thoughts in your mind, or have an influence on you or an effect on you when they want to be able to tug at you or pull at you. And if that cord is still connected, they don't have to talk to you, but every once in a while, just to make sure that that cord stays fresh. It stays plugged in. And then they can go away and they can siphon from your fuel from afar. And that's what they will do. And they will open businesses and they will have talents that they're sucking off of you without you knowing. And if you allow this to happen, they will open businesses that will prosper. They will have talents that they've stolen from you that will help them to become successful. They could become successful songwriter or an artist, a musical genius or something. But what you'll find is they will be behind the scenes throwing rocks and mocking you also. So they're using you for their own benefit without you knowing. And you wonder why you're drained and fatigued. And if you have that good fuel, that chosen source supply fuel that you had, and then you woke up and you were chosen to break the curse and that's what you were working on, but you hadn't understood cording and energetic cords and cutting them yet, and then you find out about how many people are behind the scenes sucking off of you as you have an awakening to how important your energetic body is, your aura, and understanding your energy and everybody else's. When you become an energy reader, when you become an air bender, a motion detector, when you have the ability to cut everybody out of your life and become a popular loner, a lone wolf, that's when you start drawing everything back to you. You rip those cords, those plugs, you pull them out, you shut those portals down, and you force close whatever relationship or thoughts that you had, the what ifs or whatevers. You gain everything back. And what you will find is all those people that were siphoning from you They were leaning on you so long and so hard that they thought that they were doing this. They thought those talents were theirs. They thought that whatever thoughts they had to open this business and how to run it was their idea. It wasn't. It was you propping them up. It was you. It was your ideas. It was your thoughts. It was them sucking off of you to gain their talent. It was your energetic body. And sometimes you will get several people that will cord into you, such as a coven. Once they find out, because they always know what you got before you know what you got. They know you're a star before you know you're a star. They know you're chosen before you know you're chosen. That's why they come to you and they set you up before you know and wake up to what you're dealing with. And that's what happened in my life. They had a coven of witches and warlocks that all had a free-for-all. And they all had a schmexual party. And they all corded up to me. And they were siphoning all off of me. A whole community, a whole group, a friend group. Because once your partner has intercourse with all of them on a free-for-all, then they have the ability to cord into you as well. And this is what they did. And I woke up to it at a certain point, and I pulled my energy back and cut those cords. You have to let it go. And a lot of times being by yourself helps you to draw your energy back and know yourself, because you won't have too many people in your field and so you'll be able to separate yourself from others. So that's what I did. And I drew my energy back, and I learned how to disconnect. And every time I would disconnect, guess what would happen? These famous people, or these people that were sucking off of me to make good music, to songwrite, to run great channels that had hundreds of thousands of followers, they start shutting down, y'all. They had businesses all around the city. They're shutting down. Do you know why they're shutting down? They're shutting down and they're going bankrupt because they don't know how to run them on their own. It was all being siphoned from you. So energy is very important. These are gifts and talents that God gave you. And when you accept to go into covenant, contract, or consent with an evildoer, these are the types of things that can happen. My case was different than most, because most don't know that you're dealing with a witch or a warlock, or they're not to that degree, or a coven. But I found out about mine later on. I didn't know anything about it. It just so happened that my intuition was giving me my intuition was helping me to understand these things. And as I was studying material, it was coming out in my material, the identity theft and all of the things that were happening. Because a narcissist is an identity thief, first and foremost, as they do identity swaps. Every time they come to you, they're identity swapping with you temporarily. But if you stay with them long enough, some of them that are real practitioners of witchcraft will try to take you out, or have you take yourself out through spell work. And this is the case in my situation. But I drew it all back, and now they're to the point to where they've lost almost everything, and they're about to be on the run because now they got the law after them. So when you mock a light worker and they wake up, you're in a whole hell of a lot of trouble. And when you've thrown everything you can at it, every spell book and every practitioner in the world, and they can't put that light worker down, and they can't win not one battle once you wake up, they should just quit. Because that's somebody telling them, that's the Lord telling them that you shouldn't be messing with this individual. But a lot of times they're so full of pride and arrogance, and that dark energy attachment doesn't give a damn about what avatar they're in. They can't help themselves. So they just keep pushing until they're in a casket.